Joe Pietaro here with your Muscle Sport Minute for today. This episode is brought to you by Muscle and Ink. That is muscle dash the letter N dash ink INK.com. Ink like tattoos, like my Muscle Sport magazine logo tattoo on my forearm. But check it out. My buddy Chuck has beautiful gym apparel, double-sided shirts. This thing is fucking beautiful, nice and thin, comfortable. You definitely want to get yours. Muscle-N-Ink.com. Being in the bodybuilding media, it gets quite interesting sometimes when you're doing articles on different bodybuilders. And I was doing a couple of articles for my buddy Gregory James, who's starting Most Muscular magazine, and he's also got Men In Shape for Men, In Shape for Women, and Digital Curves. So he's doing 4 different magazines, and he and I are buddies from our days together at Muscular Development, and he is an amazing photographer. He has a wonderful family. He's a great guy, and he is starting his own line of magazines, and I definitely was very interested in getting involved, so I'm doing some work with him on these magazines, and looking up, you got to find some information when you're doing articles on these different IFBB pros. And I found out, because Muscle Sport Mag, I don't really do a lot of these things. When I worked for Flex and for MD, I did a lot of articles on your basic IFBB pro guy. But now Muscle Sport Magazine, we kind of do things a little differently. We don't really talk too much about the contest, but I still, once in a while, I do like an article on the website where I need to do some research and find out somebody's contest history, if you will. And for Gregory's articles, I definitely needed to do some history, and I wanted to include some of that in the type of articles that I was writing for him. And I found out that it's not easy to find out somebody's contest history, IFBB-wise. Now, if you're trying to find out how many yards somebody rushed in a certain year, or a team, or their special teams and their, net yardage per punt, if I want to find out Steve Weatherford on the 2011 Giants, what was his, punting average, his net, and all of that, I just do a few clicks and I can find it in 1,000,001 places. FootballReference.com, NFL.com, possibly, ESPN.com. Tons and tons and tons of places I can find. I want to find out a IFBB Pros contest history. I have to look under every fucking rock there is, and I probably won't even find out what I need. Case in point, bodybuilding.com used to be kind of the go-to place, if you will, for that. They were always on the first page of Google when you put in Victor Martinez profile, John De La Rosa profile, or Arnold Schwarzenegger profile, or contest history, Lou Ferrigno. One of the first ones you would come up, maybe 2 or 3 down on page 1 of that Google search, was bodybuilding.com, and it said whoever, so with Johnny Jones profile and pics. And you would see all of their contest history chronologically from latest to oldest, and most of them, if not all of them, you could actually click on, and then you could see the whole contest itself, all the placings and everything like that. And you could look at photos of that particular guy or gal that you were doing the article on there, and just to see if you wanted to look at something and say, oh, wow, that's a pretty good side chest. Maybe I'll include something about that in my article. That's what creative people do, Ron Harris. You usually try to do something like that instead of just saying, I know this guy for years, and I think he's a great bodybuilder. But I digress. Back to what we were talking about. So basically what I'm saying is bodybuilding.com kind of got out of the game. They stopped promoting the Olympia a couple of years ago. So I found out that this particular bodybuilder, Steve Kuklo, I looked at his page, and I believe it was him because I did another article on a different bodybuilder as well. I'm trying to remember which one, but it was only up to 2014 on bodybuilding.com. So I had to, gotta look all over the place. Now, even IFBBprofessionalleague.com, they will have, scoring cards and results of shows, but they won't have where I can click on Dennis Wolf's name, and I will see all of Dennis Wolf's Grand Prix and Arnold's and Olympias, and I will see where he placed and how he placed at all of these shows chronologically. There is no like big database, to find all of this shit. So that's definitely something that I guess if somebody has the want to be bothered going back and entering all of this information, go for it, because we're not going to do it at Muscle Sport Mag. We may put which female bodybuilder has the nicest fucking pussy, but we're not going to put down who finished, what placing did Eduardo Correa do at the 2012 Flex Pro. I really don't give a fuck. I was at that show, by the way. That's why I said that. That's when I worked for that magazine. Lana Bayeki won it, and Correa was in the open because there wasn't a 212. But again, I digress a lot today. I'm getting kind of fucking loopy. It's a little late in the day here at the Muscle Sport Mag office/studios. So come on, guys, get your shit together. That should be on IFBB site, NPC site, whatever. Somebody should have a fucking up-to-date database. It's not that fucking hard to do. You just need to have somebody to go back and actually do it. And you can just start with the guys that are active now and then work your way backwards. If somebody wants to put in Ronnie Coleman, they should be able to find out. And Wikipedia, you can never fucking go by them. Sometimes they're not even up to date, but sometimes they are up to date for a guy like Ronnie that hasn't competed in a number of years. You can probably find every one of his contest placings right there, year, show, and placing. But yeah, that's just a fucking definitely a thumbs down for. In bodybuilding, it's an embarrassment. You're trying to be, competitive sport. You're trying to put yourself. Yes, we are a sport. Well, when you can't even find fucking stats, that's an indictment where you're not doing what you're supposed to do. But we do what we're supposed to do on Muscle Sport Magazine. Here's our retro issue. Speaking of former bodybuilders that are old-time pros, Eddie Robinson on this of our summer issue. We did a retro. Bill Dobbins, an amazing fucking photographer, and he's got some fucking good chops in as far as his writing. He does a couple of features every issue. He has his Linda Murray piece in here as well. She did a piece, and he worked on her with it, and also he has his own story in there with some unfucking believable photos. But that is our retro issue, hence the reason why Eddie Robinson is on the cover. It was a fun interview. I enjoyed that. But make sure you check us out, musclesportmag.com/subscribe, $32 a year, free shipping in the U.S., or /store to get your back issues, such as that one with Eddie Robinson, free shipping as well in the U.S. See you guys next time.